going to talk a little bit about disability now. So disability is intended to help provide income if you're no longer able to work. And it protects you if you're facing a medical challenge that impacts you being able to work long term. It provides monthly replacement income. If you qualify for Social Security disability, it'll help you meet the eligibility to get Medicare. It impacts your ability to get assistance in other services that you're trying to seek. If you qualify for Social Security disability, your dependents may be eligible for benefits based on your earning record as their parent. And you can continue, disability benefits continue from disability to full retirement age, although they do intermittently reevaluate your disability through that period of time, depending on how long it is. It provides benefits to disabled or blind people who are insured by having previously worked and made contributions through Social Security taxes, which are your FICA, the FICA taxes that you pay out of your checks when you're working. So Social Security disability is SSDI. SSI is Supplemental Security. SSA is Social Security Administration. That's who makes the determination on whether or not you meet the disability requirements. And FICA are the taxes that you contribute to the Social Security Trust Fund, which is where the money that to pay for the benefits comes out of. There's a lot of confusion about what is the difference between Social Security disability and SSI, or Supplemental Security Income. And there's a few overlapping areas, but most people don't really necessarily know what they have. But SSDI, or Social Security Disability, is monthly income, and it begins 6 months after you are deemed disabled. So from the time that it's determined you were no longer able to work is your deemed date. And the amount is based on your wage withholdings throughout your working career life. You become eligible for Medicare under Social Security disability 25 months after your disability payments started. So on the 25th month after you started getting benefits, you're eligible for Medicare under disability. You must have worked at least 5 out of the last 10 preceding years to have enough credits to qualify for disability. Under SSDI, there are no resource or asset limits, and that's important to remember. And again, it can provide benefits for eligible dependents. So if you have any kids that are under. SSI, on the other hand, monthly income begins at the month that your application is approved for disability. Income and resources are available. They do look at those to determine if you're eligible. And it also looks at your previous work history to make sure that you've worked and paid in. It's not just working, it's also working and paying into the FICA taxes, because people work a lot of times and don't just get paid by cash or whatever. And then when they try to apply for disability, when they look in the system, there aren't enough credits to approve somebody for disability. So that's where that comes in. It's a flat fee monthly benefit. They don't care how much you earn throughout your life. And you can qualify for Medicaid under Social SSI health coverage, and there's no dependent coverage. Where they kind of overlap is that you have to meet the requirements of having a disability, and there's not a partial or short-term benefit under disability. If you meet the requirements, and all of the requirements under the program, you're going to get your money. If you don't, they stop it. They don't play around. So as a child, if your child was determined to have a disability under the age of 18, they met the requirements for disability as a child. As your child's turning 18 or 22, if they're attending school, your child will be reevaluated as an adult for meeting the requirements for Social Security disability. A child, yeah. So there's a book that's available online. It's called the Red Book. Red Book, Blue Book. There's a red book and a blue book. This is blue book, I'm sorry. The blue book, actually you can pull it up online and it gives you the ability requirements for meeting a disability available online. Social Security Administration is the independent agency who actually is going to make the determination based on whether or not the child meets the requirements as an adult. And they're going to look at Social Security will pay for total disability, and it can result from a medically verified physical or mental impairment. And eligibility for disability means there's an inability to be able to work, is what they're going to be looking at, and making the determination on disability based on, is this person able, do they meet the requirements for not being able to work, or are they able to work as they're making their decision. Social Security is going to consider you disabled if you cannot do the work that you did before whatever the incident is that you're saying you're not able to work as based on. So if you're, as an adult, say you had a bad heart attack and you're no longer able to go back to work, then that's the event they're going to look at and say, yes, you're no longer able to work. As a child, if you had a disability that was preventing you from working, they're going to go out and look to see, as an adult, do you still meet that requirement? They're going to say, and we're going to talk about this, but are they able to participate in any substantial gainful activity because of the medical condition? And is your diagnosis severe enough or to have lasted or expected to last a minimum of 12 months and or can result in death? Okay. Disability from birth to age 18 is that they have to have a mental condition that seriously limits their activities. They're expected to last at least a year. And they're going to look at both medical and school information when they're making this decision as a child. Substantial gainful activity. Work is considered substantial if it requires that you're getting some kind of financial money back on it, that you do work on a full or part-time basis, that they're going to look at the monthly amount that you're making to determine if you qualify under substantial gainful activity. And in 2018, it's for a non-blind person, if you make $1,180 a month, it's considered substantial gainful activity. And for a blind person, it's higher, and it's $1,970, I think, for a blind person. Work credits. This is something to know, that the number of work credits you get for every quarter you work, you get one work credit per year. And so the most work credits you can make in a year is 4. To be eligible to meet the requirements under Social Security disability, you had to have worked a minimum of 20 work credits in the previous 10 years, as well as meeting a qualification for being disabled. In 2018, you have to earn $1,320 in pay compensation and pay FICA taxes to get your Social Security benefit. And again, you can only make 4 credits in a year. But for younger workers who haven't had the opportunity to work for that long, before age 24, you can qualify if you have 6 credits earned in the previous 3 years of work, and from 24 to 31. Anyway, so they do take your age into account as they're making the disability decision on whether or not you meet the requirements.